Hello investors, a fixed trader here from topinvestmentalerts.com here today, and I want to take a second to talk to you about the stock chart for EPAZ, EPAZ Incorporated, which is an OTC markets traded stock. So let's start from the top and work our way down here. First thing I want to point out is you'll notice that a lot of the indicators on this chart have recently been reset. They had just barely crossed back over to a neutral position, and they're in a position where they could quickly become pretty bullish. And I want to elaborate on that. So let's look at this RSI first. You'll notice that the 14 period RSI is currently sitting at 46.95, which is just below that considered buy zone between 50 and 70, and that's where things get really strong, is in that zone right there. We've also got our 5 period RSI sitting at 44.64, which is just about 2 points underneath the 14 period RSI. That being said, the 5 period RSI is very volatile and could quickly cross back above given that bullish buy signal again as both head over the 50 mark again. So as far as this goes, we want to watch for that 5 period RSI crossing over the 14 period RSI, as well as both RSI lines crossing over that 50 line to enter what is the strongest zone for the RSI between that 50 and 70. So RSI as a whole is looking like it could quickly turn very, very bullish. Now let's get down into some of the indicators here on the chart, some of the levels that are important. If we just from taking a quick glance at this chart, you can see that the primary channel this has been trading in is the 0007 to 0004 price range. That's where most of the action has happened. There's been some outliers up at this 0008 level. So our first line of resistance is really going to be at the 6s, and then the 7s, and then the 8s. And once that clears up, there hasn't been terribly strong resistance at the 9s. The 10s have had some, as you can see from looking back in September and October, and even a little bit of August here. There's been a little bit of support and resistance at the 10 level, but not nearly as much as these lower levels here. So I like to say that once these 0008s fall, it should be a little easier to move up. And we've also got the PARSAR sitting at that 0008 level too. So when the price per share hits that PARSAR is going to flip underneath the price per share and become a bullish signal as far as the PARSAR goes. It will say that the trend is becoming bullish. Now we've got our Bollinger Bands trading within the Keltner channels, and what that's doing is it's setting up for a squeeze play where the Bollinger Bands squeeze outside of the Keltner channels, and it would look something like what I've kind of extrapolated on the chart here. So basically, squeeze plays can be very, very explosive plays, and if we hit the 0008s, we will likely see that squeeze play kind of come to fruition. So keep your eye on those Bollinger Bands expanding outside the Keltner channels as well. Now, from looking at the volume here, you'll see that there's been a lot of bullish volume as far as the entirety of this chart goes. You can also see that in the volume by price level. For example, just looking at this this range between really 0008 and 0006, look at the percentage of overall green closes in volume, like high volume green closes that we've seen. It vastly outnumbers this the red closes, the amount of volume on those red close days. So tons of accumulation in that range between 0008 and 0006-ish, and that's going to pretty much set up a higher leg for us, because a lot of the people that bought in at these prices aren't going to sell down here at the 0004s, 0003s. You know, they're wanting to turn a profit, so they're going to look to get out up higher. And then keeping that same principle in mind here, look at the amount of buys between this 0013 and 0011 level, the amount of buys here versus the amount of sells. So as a whole, there's just been a ton of accumulation on this chart, and there was a huge green volume day just a few trading sessions ago. Now we've also seen the past few trading sessions, we've seen two decently large red volume days, and those could be people just trying to turn a quick profit because there was a nice run up back here, and those could be flippers just kind of grabbing some profit. But you'll see also that today the prices hit 0003 for a short period of time, and there was huge bidders there lined up to buy that dip, and it brought the price back up to close at a doji, which is a reversal signal. So that downside ended up turning around, came back and closed where it opened approximately. So it was just a little bit below. We closed down 16.67%, which for a 000 is not bad. So all in all, a lot of accumulation on this chart. Now earlier I mentioned that the indicators had kind of reset. So here's what I'm talking about. You can see that this there was this bullish crossover as far as the MACD goes, and it's really thin. There's not much spread between the signal line here, and it's in a position where it could quickly go up, take a turn up, and build some distance. Now we're also about to get this crossover on the Trix indicator, which is another short-term momentum indicator. But as you can see, it's just really close. It's nice. It's kind of like at a neutral position right now, and it's the blue line here is curling up. Looks like it's going to get its crossover. The Williams %R, it's also in a pretty neutral area at the moment. We're looking for this to spike up into the overbought category, which is a bullish sign as far as that indicator goes. But right now it's in pretty neutral territory at this negative 60 line. So looking good there. Chaikin money flow is also kind of confirming the accumulation I'd spoken of earlier. If you look at just the overall history of the Chaikin money flow here, you can see just how much accumulation has happened on this stock. Tons of accumulation, and recently, like I said, those past couple of trading sessions with the high volume red days, I think that's profit taking, but we're starting to recover from that, and today was proof with the Chaikin money flow bouncing back up. So all in all, I like EPAZ going into Thursday morning. Keep in mind that all of my opinions are just that, and you shouldn't base your buy or sell decision on anything that I've said. Videos for entertainment purposes only. Good luck trading.